Good day, Altars Gate UMC family and friends, wherever you may be. Pastor Randy here with today's devotional thought. Today I'd like to share with you just a little bit about something called Godsightings. Have you ever noticed some smaller blessings in your life over these days that we've been going through with the coronavirus and having to stay at home? A few years ago, I heard this concept for the very first time in a training session that I went to out in Kansas City. And I heard a guy talk about Godsightings. I heard him talk about something called L3, which is loving, learning, and leading. And part of that SLI training group that I'm now part of always begins every meeting with something called a Godsighting. Now, what's a Godsighting? Well, a Godsighting is simply you taking notice, me taking notice of where God is working in our lives and in the world. It could be within your own personal life, your family, your workplace. It could be within your church or your community. Where is God working? And do we slow down and take enough time to notice? You know, what would it take to be a first-class noticer? I've heard and studied that some of the most successful people in the world are people who are first-class noticers. They just pay attention to things. They pay attention to people. They pay attention to things that are going on around them in the community. And what are we paying attention to? What are we noticing? Well, one of the scriptures that I'm reminded of comes from Colossians 4:2. It reminds us, encourages us to devote ourselves to prayer, to be watchful, and to be thankful. Well, that's a great place to base a glory sighting on. And you know, noticing things is just very important. It's been said also that when you can notice those small things in life, not just the big things, but the small things as well, it kind of puts us closer with God's heart. So I wanted to share with you not only about Godsightings, but how do we be a Godsighting? Well, this is actually in the classroom where our confirmands meet. So this is not a new concept here at Altars Gate United Methodist Church. So how can you be a Godsighting today? Well, you might write somebody a letter, or you might give them a compliment in some form or fashion. You can maybe do a chore without being asked. That's probably for the confirmands. Maybe you can do an anonymous good deed for somebody, or give a gift just for no reason. You know, some of the Godsightings that I've experienced in just the last couple days is, I'll include this in the devotion, of the little pansy that's in the crack outside of door 3 that's growing all by itself. It's beautiful, and we'll include that, and I included it in my Facebook post yesterday. I noticed that when Leanne and I were coming over to get the food in last night, there was a family from Good Shepherd Catholic Church that was actually delivering food because they heard we were dropping it off at Rising Hope. Yesterday in worship, so many people sharing their musical gifts. Oh, what a Godsighting that was. And then, not only about the food that we are delivering, which I mentioned, but I happened to look at the little box about the cards, and it's a big box. And there were only 2 little hearts in the box. But you know, I thought 2 little hearts that's going to go to somebody to fill their heart and warm their heart in the days ahead. So these are all ways that we can be Godsightings. I hope that you will pay attention and notice today the Godsightings in your life. And I want to invite you to share those with family, share those with friends. Maybe you might even include it here in the comment section. And let's just see how many Godsightings we come up with today, okay? Let's be devoted to prayer. Let's be watchful. Let's be thankful. Would you pray with me? God, be with us as we go through this day. Help us to pay attention to where you're working in our lives and all around us in the world. Lord, for the big things, for the small things, we give you praise for all the ways you're working. And God, not only the Godsightings we get to see, but the ones we get to be part of. Work in and through us. In Christ's name, amen. Have a great day.